Hi, Ren. Good to hear your thoughts. I wanted your view on HDFC Bank. That one was in spotlight this week after it saw a sharp cut post-brokerage downgrade. The stock is now either at a make or a break level. Well, Anuj, you've been looking at this closely. Run us through some data points because this is going to be a driver for the markets from here on as well.
Well, absolutely. HDFC Bank is like what Virat Kohli is for the Indian team, right? The biggest stock in the market. And more than just the sheer weight of HDFC Bank, when HDFC Bank does well, you feel good about the market. And when it doesn't, you don't feel good about the market. I mean, that was the key differentiator this week, frankly, HDFC Bank. What changed this week for the market? It was this collapse in HDFC Bank. Now, I'm saying it a make or break level, but because just look at this chart. I think this for me is really the chart that's going to define what happens to HDFC Bank. This is a trend line that we have drawn from the post-COVID low up until now. And whenever it's taken support here twice. Once, of course, was immediately after COVID, and once it was in 2022. Both times, just look at the kind of move that you've seen. Yeah, this is the kind of move, and this is the move. And what has happened now is that you've broken this level. You've broken this trend line. Now it's just been broken on a two-day basis. Let's see if this sustains or not. But this, for me, is really a make or break chart. Now, what are the key points to consider from here on? What were some of the big worries? Now, I'm not going through all of them because we have limited time. One of the big worries was HDFC NPAs of 6.7%, which is higher than what it reported at the end of FY23 at 2.9%. And the concern was, why did this come? Now, I did try to speak to the management and others as well. And the sense I got was that this is because earlier they were an NBFC and they were adhering the NHB norms. And according to their own prudent calculation, that was the NPA. But now you have to adhere to the RBI rules. 90 days means an NPA, and that's why this NPA has gone up. The other thing is what's happening on the margins. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a margin hit, and that's something that the bank has been quite open about. But will it be countered by volumes going up? There are two reasons for that. And again, I'm not saying it will happen. That's a big question. 30% of erstwhile HDFC customers banked with HDFC Bank. That number can go up. And only 2% of bank's customers source their home loan from erstwhile HDFC. So, can this margin hit be compensated by cross-selling? That I think is going to be one big factor. The other big factor, which I think not too many have looked at, it was HDFC's holding of 21% in HDFC Bank, which was extinguished. Obviously, that also means that in the consolidated profit, that number is not there. But in that case, there's a holding company discount as well. The net impact of this would be EPS accretive. That's something which, of course, when it goes in its favor, will be helpful. The next couple of quarters, though, are going to be extremely soft. Make no mistake about that. And that's what the market is telling, that, we have limited capital. Why to waste it on a stock where for the next two more quarters, there's not going to be earning comfort? Why don't we go to some other stocks? By the way, one more thing. Just look at HDFC Bank's earnings profile. And this is the first time in last 10 years I'm using value stock for HDFC Bank. Never done that, right? Its price to book has averaged between 4 to 5 over the last decade. FY 2021 is when it started to come down. This was also the time when Aditya Puri was leaving the bank, right? The executive position, and was retiring. And look at where it's come down to now, 2.86 price to book. When was the last time you have seen HDFC Bank trade below 3 times price to book? Even if you look at the price to earnings ratio of HDFC Bank, it used to command 27, 28 times. It's now down to 17 points. 17 times price to earnings. That's what happens, right? And one last thing, I'll leave it with a popular meme in the stock market. This is the meme which comes back every time there's some kind of a shift in the market. Retail investors are right now just after public sector banks. HDFC and Kotak Bank are worried right now, but their time will come. I'm telling you, the time will come. It's just that right now everyone is just obsessed with PSU banks. Yeah, this is
just explain that meme to me once again. Who is that girl? Who is the girl in red and who is the girl in blue, Anuj?
That boy is Nigel. I don't know about the girl. You ask Nigel.
Nigel, which one is the white and which one is
I would
the
have
other
a good weekend. Don't get me into trouble.
But Hiren, that